To go on YouTube, Broke Boy Tactically, and hope that everybody is having a great day. And I've got an awesome firearm to share with you guys here. If you're wondering why I'm wearing this exact same outfit that I was wearing in my Taurus 856 video, it's because it's the same night. I'm still just as tired, but I thought I would go ahead and make this video because I really want to. It's about my Mossberg Shockwave, chambered in 20 gauge. Yes, 20 gauge. Probably the most reasonable, for recoil management while still maintaining. I don't like 410 and I don't like 12 gauge when it comes to small shotguns. I think 20 gauge is that really nice little sweet spot here. It really is. This is a wonderful little firearm. It's based off the Mossberg 590 platform, but it is not a shotgun. It is a non-NFA item, and I have to go into this real quick for legal reasons. But a non-NFA item is a firearm that does not fall under any classification or designation that is regulated by the National Firearms Act, the NFA. Meaning this is not a shotgun, this is not a rifle, nor is it a pistol. It is a firearm. Fair enough? Alright, we can move on. This is a firearm that just shoots shot shells. It is not a shotgun. It is not a short barrel shotgun. It is not a shot-off shotgun. It is not a shotgun of any kind. A shotgun has to have a stock. It has to be shoulderable. Okay? Or it has to be pistol converted. This is neither. This has just a Raptor grip right here. This is not a pistol grip, nor is it a shoulder brace or stock. So this 14-inch barrel that came from the factory stock is totally legal. So let's talk about this real quick. This is a defensive firearm, so we are going to go ahead and get the rounds out of the tube here. Well, I am going to show you I don't keep one in the chamber in my home defense shotguns. They're generally not drop safe, even with safeties. I just don't keep one loaded in the chamber. I don't. Say what you want about it. Right. You should always keep a round loaded. That's true. You should. But you know what? It just depends on your comfort level and what you believe your threat level is and what you believe you need. So, if you don't think you need to keep a round loaded, then don't keep a round loaded. Fair enough? If you feel like you do need to keep a round loaded, then keep a round loaded. Okay? I just don't find shotguns to be drop safe in my experience. So, no. Okay? This is based off the 590 platform. I said that before. This thing is awesome. It is a battle-proven, time-tested, mil-spec firearm. Every test that the military threw at this thing passed with flying colors. And I mean flying colors. I dare you to put enough rounds through this gun to break it. It won't happen. No. No, it won't. Now, the Shockwave with the 14-inch barrel, I could be wrong about the barrel, but when it comes to the firearm itself right here, this is proven. This is a proven piece of machinery. This is a wonderful tool. This is a wonderful weapon, a wonderful firearm. And I think that the Shockwave is highly underappreciated and highly misunderstood because I hear people saying a lot of good things and reasonable things about the Shockwave. I also hear people saying a lot of retarded things, like trying to make this gun sound a lot better than it really is. And I also hear people say some equally as retarded things when they say that this thing is fucking useless. A lot of people have a lot of opinions on this gun, and I'm here to tell you the truth about it. The Mossberg Shockwave is one of the best little firearms that I think the urban survivalist could ever own. Think of this as like a pocket pistol, but a long gun version, okay? This is just your micro long gun, okay? This can fill a lot of roles that your typical long guns can't, okay? This can be stored away, like in a toolbox. It can be easily hidden. This is a very, very corrosive resistant, time-tested piece. You could put this in the tube that it comes in and fucking bury it. You know what I mean? Like, in a very tight space. It's very hideable. It's a very storable firearm. It's a good staging firearm, whether it be for your truck or your barn or for inside your home in a very, tight space. This is a good little firearm to have ready to go. If you ever did need to grab it, it's within reach and you're ready to go. Another thing that I like about it, I have owned several Mossberg 500 Bantams here. If you don't know about the Bantam, it's a youth model shotgun with a much shorter pull. I think this has the Bantam pull on it. It feels very familiar to the Bantam and definitely does not feel like the pull of a full shotgun, which I do think for a firearm of this size is quite salubrious. I think that's a very good thing. I do think that you should keep this on. This strap right here needs to stay on. This is a very short barrel. This can be a very uncontrollable firearm. The last thing you want to do is slip up. Okay, that's the last thing that you want to do, and lose all your fingers. So I think that I see a lot of people taking these off. I don't recommend it. I think that this is not only a very thoughtful feature, I think it's a very necessary feature to this weapon. Do not remove this strap, in my opinion. Even with the 20 gauge here, it's still quite an unwieldy little guy. I do find myself gripping over the top right here and kind of having a slanted grip, this elbows up, elbows out kind of grip, because any other way I try to do it is just a little too close to my face. And I will say that while training, I can keep it away from my face, but I think that in the moment I would probably smack and hit myself. So I do try this arms out kind of grip, and I'm not really trying to align the bead anyway. I'm just trying to get the bead on target and pull the trigger. All right, and as I said, we are clear, so we are going to talk about this trigger. This thing is not that good. Maybe it'll break in, but I like the trigger on my 500 better. I do. It's a little heavy, but I digress. I do like the fact that it's all metal down here instead of a polymer, whatever, you know, receiver or follow, whatever you want to call it. This piece right here is polymer on the 500 series and the Maverick series. It's steel on this one, so I like that. This is just a very high quality firearm. If you are a big man and you do want the 12 gauge, oh yeah, that's a lot of power. For me, if you're the average sized person, you know, just be real with yourself, dude. Get the 20 gauge. You're not sacrificing that much power. You are sacrificing power. You are sacrificing some ammo versatility. But I think that 20 gauge is very slept on, especially in a roll like this. 20 gauge, I think, really shines. I really do. Like I said, you're still getting an adequate amount of power with about half the recoil, and not half the ballistics. You know, it doesn't have half the ballistic capabilities of 12 gauge, but yet still has half the recoil. So I kind of like that, especially for an indoor purpose, especially if my wife needed to use this, or if my daughter one day needs to use this. This is definitely going to be more wieldable than the 12 gauge version. And you're not dumbing down to something like 410, and I'll be honest, I don't. I think I could defend my home with a 410, but if you were to say, hey, Broke Boy Tactical, pick a gun, it would never be a 410. That's all I'm saying. It would never be a 410. So, but a 20 gauge, maybe. With the right load, some really good, like, copper-plated number 3 buck. This could be a pretty good, you know, defensive round. And I say that because that's generally what's readily available to people. You go into your Walmart, your gun store, you're looking for 20 gauge, they're probably going to have some number 3 buck for you. That's the only reason why I bring it up. So it's a very, you know, accessible round, and I do think that it's perfectly adequate for self-defense. Just keep in mind that it's 9 shots and that 9th pellet likes to fly, and you're responsible for those pellets. So try to keep your shots close. And you shouldn't be, you know, trying to, you know, pick off targets with this thing either. Think of this like your pocket pistol. This isn't for, you know, target shooting. This isn't for, you know, long-range shots. This is for literally, you know, there's a bad guy in the hallway. That's what this is for. And really, Mossberg recommends that you shoot this at the hip. I know why they say that, but that's kind of what the strap is for. Just, you know, fucking grab it. Look at it. You should know. Don't be an idiot. Don't over here like, huh? You know, seriously, hold your fucking gun right, you know? And what about short stroking the pump? That's another thing. I like the fact that it has the shorter pull for that. I do. It's, you know, even for people with long arms or short arms, you're going to be able to just don't baby it. That's the best thing I've ever taught people when it comes to using a pump action shotgun, and they get it immediately. Play with it a little bit, figure it out, and then once you do get it down, when you get the motion down, don't baby it. Don't baby your shotgun. Just don't baby it, and you'll be fine. Hold your gun right. You'll be fine. If you do need to, throw your thumb over the top. You can get yourself a nice little grip like this. This is a really good close range, close quarters firearm that I think is really slept on. I really do. Whether you get the 12 gauge or the 20 gauge, or hell, you know what, get the 410 if you really want it. You know what I mean? Especially if it's just going to be a toy at the range or something for a novelty, sure, get the 410. But if you really are, you know, get something for self-defense, you're really looking at something like that. Like if you're a, you know, let's say you do have some property or you have some wild game to worry about, maybe you should go with the 12 gauge. But if you're just looking for something for home defense, I think the 20 gauge is perfectly adequate. Good little truck gun, good little barn gun, just great little fucking gun, dude. And surprisingly manageable. Like, I will recommend, though, my last recommendation, get you some ghillie tape. I need to throw some on here, and I say it right now, and this is about to go back in the safe, and it will probably never have ghillie tape on it. So, so I'm going to go ahead and put the ammo back in here, and I'm going to go ahead and either put this back in the safe. Actually, I'm going to go ahead and put this back where it needs to go. But it's a great little gun. It's a fun little gun. It's a practical little gun if you don't try to flex it outside of its role. No, this is not your battle piece. You do have a rail mount here. You could throw a red dot on here, but then again, like I said, you're not really going to be. You just need to be pointing it where you're pointing it, and you need to be secure in where you're pointing it, and your grip is going to be more important than your sight acquisition on this firearm. This is for like 3 to 7 yards. This is for hallway distances. So just keep that in mind. You know, don't try to flex this firearm outside of its role because it's very limited. But for a close quarters home defense shotgun, I think you could do worse, especially if you were going to rely on a firearm that shoots shot shells. So I'm Broke Boy Tactical. This is the Mossberg Shockwave chambered in 20 gauge. No, it's not a shotgun. Just go look up the law and see you next time.